Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel if you are new here. Hello, welcome. My name is Sarah. I am a yoga instructor and a cat mom, and today we are going to be doing my February bullet journal plan with me. I'm so excited that it is February. It's my birth month. It is the month of Valentine's Day. And oh my gosh, there's just so much love and happiness kind of thrown into this month that I'm very excited for. And I am very excited to show you guys the spread for this month's bullet journal. If you didn't watch my new bullet journal for 2022 or my January bullet journal, you would know that my goal for my bullet journaling this year is to create my own ideas when it comes to my spreads, to maybe use just a few inspiration from one or two pictures from Pinterest instead of taking all of my inspiration from pictures that I found on Pinterest. And so I kind of wanted to stick with something that I did in January, see if I could make my bullet journal a little cohesive throughout the year. So I stuck with the bordered page. I really like this look. I love how it looks with the page just kind of outlined. And then for January, I did these sort of colorful blobs where I just colored in each blob a different color. And when I was looking on Pinterest for inspiration, I found this one picture where the title of every page was kind of outlined in a very sort of light color, and then the actual title that was there had the title in black. So I was like, how can I make this sort of cohesive with January but also make it its own spread? So I stuck with the blobs and I brought in a really light color pink, and then over that I took a Tombow felt brush pen, which is honestly, I don't use this pen very often just because I do prefer my Crayola super tip pens, but I decided to pull this out and sort of make this the title for each page. And I just did my calligraphy to really sort of make it pop with the sort of all the blobs and the colors of pink in the background. And of course, I always do a quote page. I feel like having a quote page right next to the start of the month can really allow for me to kind of pick what I want to focus on that month, for a quote that I want to kind of keep in my head, to kind of keep energy going kind of towards whatever the quote is about. So I picked "Love is a gift, cherish it" as this month's quote. I really loved it because it's kind of just talking about whether it's love for yourself, love for your family, your friends, your partner, your relationships. Love is a gift, and it's a gift to love ourselves and those around us, and we need to spend every day as if it is our last. And I feel like this quote kind of cherished that idea of, love is a gift, so like take it day by day, use it and love it, and express your love on a day-to-day basis. But anyways, we're getting too emotional. But so we have already moved on to the monthly calendar. For this month's calendar, I did stick with my 5x5 squares for each day of the month, but I decided to do something a little bit different, as you will see here shortly. Since it is February, it's the month of love, I decided to go with hearts instead of squares for the month of February, for this month. And I truly love how it looks. I was looking at this morning when I was writing a few things down that are going to be happening this month. I just really liked the way it looked. It was different, kind of caught my eye on how interesting it looked compared to my typical just regular boxes just filled in. But you guys will see here shortly. I did use my Sharpie fine tip pen to outline the pages of this page, and for any of the words, like for the days of the week, I use my Sharpie fine tip pen. And for all the coloring, all the pink colors except for the calligraphy is used with my Crayola super tip pen. And then of course the outline for each month, like I said earlier, I am using a Tombow brush pen. It's actually a dual brush pen. So on one side it's the calligraphy pen, and on the other side it's just a regular sort of thick pen. I will have the link to all of these pens down in the description if you want to give them a try. They are some of my go-to pens. Crayola and the Sharpie are my two go-to things to use in my bullet journal. I do have some Tombow brush pens that I was gifted, but I don't use them as much just because, I don't know, I really enjoy the simplicity of Crayola markers and Sharpie pens. But okay, so now we see the hearts on this page, and I don't know about you all, but I absolutely love the way that it turned out. And now we've already gone ahead and moved on to the next page. Wait, we've already moved on to the next spread, the next page, which these are my go-to pages. I always do a sort of meal tracker and a expense and income tracker. I find that these trackers are my go-to trackers. I use them on a day-to-day basis, whether it's going to my meals, where I have in those little boxes at the top of the page, I put what the meal is that we're planning on having that week. And then below it is where I outline not only a grocery list for that meal, but everything that that meal includes. That way, if we're rushing to make that meal, I can just come and look at this page and be like, okay, this, and this is what we need to pull out of the fridge or the pantry or whatever. And it's so totally helpful. I love it. And then I feel like my income and expense tracker is pretty self-explanatory. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the music take over while we finish coloring in this spread and adding the titles. So our next page is my habits and mood tracker. This is something that just this year I've kind of told myself that I'm going to use it on a daily basis. I've always added a habit and mood tracker into my bullet journals, but I found that in previous years that I've actually sort of lacked tracking these. I'll go back and look at my journals and they'll just be half filled out, or they just won't be finished, or they will be there and they're just not filled out at all. So I am putting in a bigger effort to actually keep track of these things this year. And for January, it went really well. I tracked every single day, and I'm really proud of myself for that. But all right, so another thing about this theme is my goal, or I guess I shouldn't say my goal, the inspiration that I took from the Pinterest post. Like I said before, it was like a bubble outlining the headers for each page, and they had white markings on all of the downstrokes. So I really wanted to do that as well with my with all of my headers, but I actually forgot to do them. So when I was coming back through and like when I was going to erase everything before the final flip through, I realized that, so I did add that. So if you see here, we just have the pink headers, and there's no black added to them, but when we go through the flip through, you will see that I do add those back in. And it looks like we are already moving on to what my habits are. Of course, you can always track different habits. Your life is obviously going to be a little bit different than mine. But for this month, my habits include drinking at least 2 bottles of water. I have a really big hydro flask, so I want to drink at least two of them, if not more. Taking my medicine, working out, doing yoga on a daily basis, journaling, getting outside, and playing Animal Crossing. These are my habits that I just want to track, that I kind of want to look back and see how much I did on a day-to-day basis. Let me know down in the comment section what your habits are that you like to track. What are your go-to habits that you do on a day-to-day basis? And while you're doing that, we are going to go ahead and move into one of my New Year's resolutions, which is to notice the little things about life and to cherish those little things and those little moments. Sorry if you guys hear any background noise. My cat is trying to get into the room that I am recording in, so she's playing with the door. I do apologize. But so I want to track and cherish the little things in life. So I've decided to make a spread in all of my months where I am on a daily basis just coming in and writing something small that put a smile on my face. And of course, I'm calling it the little things. And please ignore the fact that I did forget to write the H of things, or I'm sorry, not the H. I did forget to write the T of things, but I do come back and fix that. So I do apologize. It's definitely bothering me as we sit here and look at this. But anyways, so yes, I do want to track the little things, and I did this every day in January, and it turned out to be one of my favorite things to do at the end of the days. And yep, here we are, just adding that T for you. And then here is my weekly spread. This spread I am in absolute love with. I was sitting in the airport. If you didn't know, I traveled to Florida a couple weeks ago, and I was sitting in the airport and I brought my bullet journal to work on it. And this was one of the spreads that I did while I was sitting in the airport during my layover, and I don't know what came over me, but I think this is one of my all-time weekly spreads that I've ever done. It is beautiful. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. All right, I believe my voice is back, so here we are again. Like I was saying, this is one of my all-time favorite weekly spreads that I think I've ever done. I truly, truly love it. I love the way that my handwriting looks. I don't know what overcame me with this handwriting. I've never tried this kind of handwriting before, but I really like the way that it turned out, and I love the way that I brought in the titles and the pink, and just everything about this spread just kind of warms my heart a little bit. But okay, I'm gonna let you guys watch me finish drawing this, and please ignore the fact that I did make a mistake in the numbers of the days. I start Monday of each week, and I started the numbers on Monday, but you'll see that I kind of go back in and sort of color a little circle over the mistaked date, and then I go in with my black Sharpie and just write the correct date down. So if you've ever made a mistake in your bullet journal, just know that there are ways that you can sort of fix it. There are ways that you can still make it creative, or if you make the mistake and you know the mistake and you know you can live with it, then go for it. A mistake is a mistake. They're gonna happen. But okay, let's get into that music. We are all finished with the weekly spread, which means we are done with this month's plan with me. I really hope you enjoyed this plan with me. I am in love with this whole spread, this whole monthly spread. I love the way it turned out, and I cannot wait to use it during February. I cannot wait for you all to come along this month with me. It is going to be a crazy month. I have a really big announcement coming out about in the middle of the month. So if you love bullet journals just as much as me, if you want to know about my big surprise, go ahead and press that subscribe button. If you liked this spread, please give it a big thumbs up. And again, don't forget to let me know your habits down in the comment section. And until next time, have a lovely rest of your day. Have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you all later. Bye!